Check. Two, check. All cameras. Action.
Hey, how's it going? We're here at Established Media Studios here in London in partnership with Rogers Radio. And my name is Brando. I'm here with the boys, Loud Luxury.
Hello, thank you for having us.
Yeah, just a couple good friends catching up.
Of course, bro, of course. So, how's it feel being back in London?
It's amazing. We were just on the craziest tour schedule. We were in Bahamas, Cancun. We did like a crazy spring break run. So this is actually the first time we got back like home in the last like 5 months or something like that.
Yeah, in 2019,
It's
period.
honestly great.
Okay.
Yeah, it's our first time being back in Canada.
I laid at home,
Yeah.
did nothing for a couple days.
Yeah, definitely didn't miss the weather, but it feels good to be back.
Yeah, not enjoying the weather, for sure,
yeah.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. So, how was all the trips? How was all the summer tour, all that kind of thing?
Crazy.
Summer tour is amazing.
spring
The
tour.
last month was really good. It's kind of like workation because we
Okay.
get to skip the cold. We get to be in all these hot places.
Right.
And it's spring break, so it's rowdy.
Right, true. So, I guess everyone kind of wants to know how we met originally in LA, the Mecca, of
And
course.
the funny part is after meeting and all this, you came down to London once before
Yeah.
any of this
We fi-
Juno
yeah.
madness.
Before we finished up Body.
Yeah, we were working on some tracks together. What do you think of London? You know,
I mean,
just as an
honestly-
outsider. You're from
honestly,
LA.
Yeah,
so
the
tell us.
crazy part is London's obviously my first real experience of Canada.
Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, I've enjoyed it every time I've been up here for sure. Like the weather's always, complete opposite of
Yeah.
LA for sure. Not gonna lie, but yeah, no, I enjoy the people. I enjoy like this kind of small town vibe, but it's not too small. You know, it's still 200,000 people.
Yeah.
They still have the arena. They still have all that kind of stuff. Western.
We're playing that arena.
Yeah, I mean.
Junos. Your
True,
favorite
true.
and your least favorite thing about London so far?
Oh, jeez.
Wow, that's a tough one.
Careful, I'm from London.
I know, right?
Careful.
I'd say the weather's probably my least favorite part because I'm
Alright.
just a LA kid.
I'll agree.
But
I'll agree.
but most favorite part, the poutine's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a poutine boy.
Yeah, we should get smokes after.
Yeah,
this.
I mean that's what I mean.
Let's go.
Smokes.
We haven't
yeah.
eaten anything today.
yeah.
We've been rehearsing all day for the Junos. We're super
Yeah.
stoked for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll still be able to fit in our suits after this. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
On
we
that
just,
Juno diet.
we just waste a
We
lot
can
of
have
money.
one
Yeah.
fry dipped in gravy with a cheese curd on it.
True.
That can be our diet.
Yeah, just a
Yeah.
little. Yeah.
I
for
mean,
sure.
you
The
definitely
LA
met some
diet.
good people. They brought you down to London. They fed you poutine.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
bro,
a
I
good
mean, you
friend.
guys aren't bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so
not like the. Yeah.
I still remember how it all started. So what happened was we just recently moved to LA from Canada,
Right.
and we were just really desperate to work with a lot of cool singers and songwriters.
Whoever we could get our hands on.
Yeah,
We were just like,
yeah.
will you work with us?
Yeah.
Yes? Amazing.
Yeah.
Please work with us.
And part of that onslaught of just hitting people up, we got hit back by this manager about another artist, and she was like, "Yeah, absolutely. My artist is actually playing the showcase." It turned out to be just down the block from where we lived in Los Angeles at the time. This crazy.
We had no money for Uber or cab, so we walked.
Yeah, we walked in a weird area. And
They
I
had
remember,
the strangest apartment.
Yeah,
too.
we showed.
The strangest apartment.
Yeah, very strange. So we showed up super early, and I remember you were in this band beforehand. What was the name of that band?
Yeah,
again?
Made in LA. Yeah.
Made in LA.
Made in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah. Why don't you
Classic.
tell us a bit about Made in LA?
Oh man. I mean, yeah, that one started in high school, senior year.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys know Koss.
The homie.
Yeah, the homie.
What were you
and-
guys inspired by? Like, what were you trying to do?
Honestly, I mean, we were really inspired, ironically, by Toronto artists. Drake, Weeknd. I mean, there's so many. The Toronto sound really
Yeah.
is kind of what we were doing down in LA.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we were together for like 5 years, and actually, when we all met was the last year we were all together as
Yeah.
a band.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that was like our last performance too.
It was
Right?
so
You guys
funny
showed up
because
at.
if you didn't know the performance that night, literally everything went wrong.
Oh, yeah, it's
If
so
it was like a
bad.
guitar, a
It's so
computer, any sort of piece of equipment
Yeah.
was malfunctioning, and we were like, "That sucks." But I remember going to Andrew. I was like, "Yo, that guy's got a crazy voice." I'm like, "We need to work with him."
Yeah. So we approached him after they'd performed. Like Joe said, it wasn't anything special by any means. But it's funny.
Wow. That's a fact. I'm not even gonna lie. That was a
but
fact.
everyone here
It
can
wasn't
agree on that,
special.
right?
It
Everyone's
wasn't
like, we're
special.
all
I
in.
thought the performance was like good for what.
It was one of my lowest ones, that's for sure.
Yeah,
it was,
yeah.
it was yeah.
But the
Tiny
vibe,
little bar,
Yeah.
that kind of vibe.
the vibe, and what you said earlier about the Toronto artist thing, I think that was what really spoke to us is because we were like, yo, you know, we love his vibe. He kind of reminds us of like The Weeknd or Majid Jordan, but he's not like that, you know. And
You're different.
Yeah,
You're
and
special.
and that excited us because it felt like there was an opportunity for us to do something different in electronic music, you know, to work with someone who had a very unique tone in writing. So we approached you, and I remember you were probably like, I don't know, who are these DJs? I don't know anything about
Yeah,
electronic.
he
Yeah, you
seemed
were the-
really confused when
Yeah.
he first met us.
You were the
We're
first
like,
Canadians I ever met.
Really?
I kid you not. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, who are these people? Like, you guys walked up like all polite and everything, and obviously I'm from LA, so I'm used to people like just being
Being
really
like, yo,
rude.
let's work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you guys were like, hi, hi, hi. So I was like,
Was it shocking to find out that we don't live in igloos?
it was a little shocking, or that you don't like drink
Had you
maple
seen
syrup
snow
or-
before
Oh,
that?
I drink maple syrup.
Had you seen?
Oh yeah, no, snow for sure. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
alright.
yeah.
Because
But-
that really weirds me out when I
Yeah.
meet people and they're like, "I've never seen snow before," and I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm
no.
like, are you kidding me?
Coming up to London the first time was one of the coldest experiences.
"Yeah,
Yeah,
I
sure, 'cause
remember
it was
when
like
you came-
dead of winter.
when
It
you
was like
came, it was
January.
like super snowy.
Yeah, it was like early January
Yeah.
or something, like right after.
And we hid
Christmas
out in the
and-
studio.
Yeah, that was cold. That was cold for sure.
Yeah, that was a good time though. We had fun.
Yeah,
time.
I mean, it's really fun to reminisce about that because when you first came to London, we were literally just working out of this studio that our friends were really nice enough to let us use. That was literally just
We
like
didn't
a
even have a
farmhouse
studio.
Right,
We didn't
right.
in the
have-
middle
Yeah,
of
no, I
nowhere.
remember that, yeah.
And no one knew, you know, what would end up happening with Body. Like we were all. I remember we talked about. We're all like, "Yo, we're excited for people to hear this. It's it's hopefully going to change some things for us." But I mean, just for it to take the steps that it has and now being nominated for these 4 Junos, it's insane. Like I'm not sure if you ever expected it, but I mean, Joe and I just talk about it every day, and we're just always like,
honestly,
really shocked.
the whole thing is definitely like a crazy experience for sure, and totally unexpected. Honestly,
Yeah.
I remember when we were originally talking after Body had released. We're all super excited because the numbers were coming in,
Yeah.
and you're like, hey, it's doing double our initial numbers from our last release.
Yeah.
And we're all talking about, hey, I think, we think we could do like 20 million, 30 million streams on Spotify
Yeah, right.
in total.
Yeah, right.
It's
I know.
in
That's what we were
Spotify.
projecting. We're like,
Yeah,
oh,
and that
let's
was
hope-
crazy in my
It's on
mind.
a big label.
Yeah,
Let's hope
yeah.
it gets like
Yeah.
that.
Exactly. And that was crazy in my mind. I was like, wow, that's honestly nuts. Like, I'll be so satisfied if it hits that number. And then I remember when we kind of like reconvened like a month or two later, and it was at like 40 or 50, and I was like, okay, wow, this is definitely more than what we had expected originally.
Yeah.
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 I still remember this conversation very vividly between Joe, myself, and our manager around Christmas time, being like, okay, what's a realistic goal that we're happy with? And I remember saying, I'm really happy if this thing caps out at like 30
20,
million.
30.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it just kept going and kept going. And I mean, to take us to the places that it has, it's just crazy to think about, And
Yeah, and it's
now,
been life-changing for sure.
yeah, and now getting
I
to
hope
come to
so.
the Junos for this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like just have that recognition from them to be like, this matters. The music you guys made together matters is like the craziest thing for me.
Yeah, no, it's been incredible. And I remember, like coming up the first time and then meeting Adrian, their manager.
Yeah.
And the first thing he said to me was like, what was Body written about? He was
Yeah.
like, he's like, is
Yeah.
Body a strip club song? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just wrote it. I don't know.
You're
Like,
so unassuming about it. You'd never been to Canada.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
You're like,
Like, I
you're
wrote
like,
about the
oh, I
Six
just- Yeah,
and,
you're like,
like,
oh,
yeah.
it sounded good.
yeah,
and-
because you were asking me, it's like,
Yeah.
why'd you write about the Six? I'm like, I don't know, Drake. Like, at that time, Drake was
sounded
really
good.
talking about the Six a lot.
Yeah. What people
Yeah.
don't really know is at the time that we started working on Body together, you didn't have like an instrumental or anything, but you had these melodies and you had that hook that you want to ride in the Six, but
Right.
had never been to Toronto.
Yeah. Literally, like that whole
What
song.
did you think
that
Toronto
whole song
was?
was written
What
without
did you think
Toronto.
Toronto was when you were writing about it?
Whatever
I,
Drake said.
yeah, exactly. Whatever. I mean, pretty much like the
You're
only
just
thing.
going off of what he. Well, like, what did you think it was?
Honestly, I mean, in my mind, it was just like this place where kind of like the more, I don't like not the more hipster LA, but like somewhere, in my mind, I pictured it somewhere in between like a Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
Like where that's kind of really
Yeah.
hipster.
Yeah.
And LA,
It kinda
where,
is,
where
like, a little
LA's
bit.
very like career.
Yes.
Media, everyone's like very sheeny. There's like glamour everywhere, kind of thing. So I kind of pictured it like in between there.
Okay.
In terms of size and like how people.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and I feel like it is actually kind of like.
I get it because since moving to LA, every time we were like, "Hey, we're from Toronto," they'd be like, "Whoa!" Like they think it's this mystical,
It is kind of mystical, yeah,
like
yeah.
winter wonderland that shits out amazing songwriters.
Right. I mean, and it's true. Like the Toronto sounds become so quintessential in the American taste. You know what I mean? Music taste in general,
Facts.
for sure. So let's also talk about the Junos.
The Junos.
What we're here for. In
Are
London.
you ready?
I mean, I'm super excited. I'm not gonna lie. The first I heard about the Junos was, last year. So like, to me, everything's brand new.
Yeah.
We grew up watching it, so for
Right,
for us,
right.
it's like this is wild. Like I can't
Yeah.
believe that it's in London this year. That's the part that I'm trying to wrap my head around is the fact that it's like we released this song, it got so crazy, and then it's in the place where I was born.
Right.
It's insane to me.
Yeah, and
It's like crazy.
There's some crazy memories we were talking about from watching it as a kid too, that we were talking about today, right? So I
Yeah.
mean, to be a part of that, I think we were talking earlier about it, like first time Justin Bieber and Drake, right as they were blowing up, they did this massive duet at the Junos. It was like the craziest
Right,
thing ever.
right.
So it's kind of become this like moment for a lot of people when they're just really starting to blow up, that they get to perform at the Junos. So it's really cool to be a part of that.
Right. Because I mean, the Junos, like the Grammys, it's part of the culture. It's
Yeah.
part of Canadian
Yeah, of
culture,
course.
and it really kind of sets the zeitgeist in a way.
Yeah.
It kind of sets the mood.
Yeah.
In terms of who's the hottest thing that.
Exactly. That's why that Drake Bieber thing was like the most mind blowing thing for me, because it really set the tone to be like, all right, these two, watch out.
Right. Yeah, and even better that it's in London, like you said, it's your hometown,
Crazy.
and it's,
Yeah.
I'm still processing it.
Yeah,
I'm just ready for the after party.
I mean, like it's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely like.
I mean,
Trying to prepare for it
Yeah,
at least.
we got a lot to get through first. I'm personally really excited about our performance.
Yeah, the performance came. How did you feel about it today? I thought it came together pretty well.
Honestly, yeah, I thought the whole thing came together really nicely. Like at the beginning, we were kind of practicing. I was like,
So
it was a little sketchy.
there were a lot of things today that were like a lot of hurdles. We were like, I don't know if this is gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then everything came together in like the last 45 minutes to an hour, where it just like everything worked, and we were like, okay, this is gonna be amazing. Like,
Yeah.
this is gonna be
Yeah,
crazy.
like the last like 30 minutes or so, I was like, okay, this
And
is.
that and it was so funny because that was the only time we had to really rehearse it because there was so much lead up. And then at the very end, we were just like, okay, now we can run through it like 4 or 5 times.
I mean, that was the craziest part. Yeah,
Yeah.
because obviously, basically, we were just rehearsing right at that last 30
Yeah.
minutes.
And
Everything
it's
else
not
was
it's not an easy performance to pull off, because most people think of Joe and I just as like DJs, right? Like they don't even know that we play instruments. So
There are so many
you know,
moving parts to this performance that it's so hard to wrap your head around. But when you see it, it's going to be incredible.
yeah,
be amazing,
we're
for sure.
performers for a living, so it just feels like we have to give something more than just us, playing an instrument.
Yeah,
So
and
I'm really excited about it. I think it's gonna be super crazy, mental. It's gonna set Budweiser Gardens on fire, hopefully.
Oh yeah, I think people will definitely be blown away for sure.
Yeah.
Like it's. I mean, I didn't expect it when you guys had told me the plan initially. I was like, oh wow, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
that's
Yeah.
kind of next level kind of
Yeah.
things for sure. So looking forward to finally letting people see the final product.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of months in the making.
Perfect. Well, thank you guys for coming by.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
Marlon's now an honorary Canadian.
This is the Late Show with Marlon Brando.
That's exactly. I need to hit up Trudeau for like a citizenship or something.
Yeah, dude, key to the country.
Honorary
Get a key,
citizen.
yeah, exactly. Or a key to London or you know what I mean? Something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we can arrange that.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
At least have you cutting the ribbon,
True.
At least, at the very
True.
least.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.